Welcome back, everyone! This is Journitis, bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 59. And today we are going to go ahead and finish up our automation, or get as far as I'm going to go now. I don't want to say finish up because there's always more that can be done. But we're going to get to a stopping point in our automation of Botania, mostly because I've run out of patterns. Um, the blank patterns, if I wanted to say I want 10 of these, I'm out of Certus quartz and pretty much out of iron as well. So my automation must stop here because I would have to go manual mining, and I refuse to go manual mining. It ain't gonna happen. Anyway, you guys might notice that things look a little different here. The way my automated living wood and living rock was looking was driving me nuts. It was functional and it was good, but I just couldn't stand the way it looked anymore. So I remade it, and that's not grass. That needs to that's gonna my OCD is going to kill me if I don't. Yes, this must be grass because everything else is grass. Thank you. All right, so anyway, this all works exactly the same as it did before. You might notice that I have 9 different annihilation planes. That's just to give it a universal look, to make it look the same all the way around. And I have 8 formation planes. These are only possible because I refit everything down here. Okay. I have a ME controller for each of those. This one runs the input. Over here, the main system comes down. It is teed off right there, but that quartz fiber is stopping it from being its own thing. Stopping it from joining with it, keeping it as its own thing. The controller is allowing me to have the extra channels to have each of these run. So I have a controller for each of these. And of course, I got these cable anchors right here, stopping these two from joining. So the main system is right here. This imports into the main system, and then over here is the interface that has it exporting. So when I say I want some of this, it puts it in here. Here it gets imported here into this system, which then puts it out at the actual formation planes. And then when it transforms, it goes over to here. And of course, it will only pick up living wood and living rock in this storage bus, just like I did before. But I wanted to show you that, by using extra controllers, it is possible to pretty it up and make it work 8 at a time. I can technically make it work as many as a time as I want, but there's really no need to go any higher than that. So to do the rest of the other stuff that I did off camera, I was required to extend things a little bit over here. You can see now that I have the dense cable running all the way down to this point right here. I added in a bunch of extra interfaces in order to be able to automate some other things, and I went ahead and put in the Petal Apothecary. I kind of got a little carried away with the automation and kind of forgot that I was supposed to record, so that's why I'm telling you guys what I did, because I got carried away. Anyway, we have 3 interfaces over here. These 3 interfaces over here each have the ability to make both, we had before, mana pearls, mana diamonds, and mana steel. Now we have the ability to make every single type of mana petal as well. And this one over here just kind of stands by himself. Poor little guy. There just wasn't enough space. Cyan got pushed off by himself. So anyway, anything that gets put into there comes over to here and gets dropped into the mana pool. Now, this was a little bit on the tricky side. I kind of forgot that these filters, you can't have more than one filter in a transfer node. However, you can have more than one filter in a filter, and I'll show you how this is. The main item filter, starting from the top, it filters for mana diamonds, mana steel, and on down, and then inside this filter, I have 2 item filters, and those item filters are filled out for the different mana petals. Okay, so if I were to take this out of here and right-click it in the world, you can see that I've got the main stuff, but then I've got these, and these have filtered items in them as well. So you can have an item filter that has 9 item filters in it, and each of those 9 item filters can have 9 items that it's filtering. So you can filter as much as you want, but if you put more than one filter in a slot here, it will stop the transfer node from functioning at all. Nothing will work, okay? So keep that in mind. That one drove me a little bit nuts because I kind of forgot that small detail about the transfer nodes with the world interaction upgrades and the filters. All right, so that being said, we now have the ability to create all of the runes and to, move forward with this. Now, one of the things that I did mention, and why is there glass there? Oh, carried away again. Not supposed to be glass there, otherwise the mana spreaders have to have phantom lenses. Anyway, so we got this all prettied up, and that's all well and good. Now, the other thing that we need to consider, yeah, okay, that's not blocking that, is what we're going to do. Last episode, I told you guys we were going to have a problem if I requested something that required multiple runes to be made at the same time. The way this is set up, if I were to request a rune, one of the higher runes or one of the flowers that requires multiple runes, and I don't have the correct number of runes, if it tries to make earth runes and fire runes at the same time, it is going to drop all of them onto this runic altar all at the same time. And therefore, nothing is going to work. Okay, so I talked with Evil Talking Pie. I mentioned that last episode. Evil Talking Pie is a programmer by trade, and he also is a fellow Pandemicrafter. If you watch any of the Pandemicraft seasons, you'll probably have run into him once or twice. But he designed a Computercraft program that will make it so that will not happen. Okay, so what I need to do is go ahead and make myself a couple of computers. Now, I forgot to ask him if you required a normal computer or an advanced computer, so I'm going to make advanced computers because I just don't remember if you can do this with a normal one or not. I definitely have the resources to make the advanced ones, so I'm not really worried about it. All right, so we're going to need 4 of these for the moment, and we're going to go ahead and set these up. Now, the way this system is going to work, right, I set this up accordingly. We're going to put that there, 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 and there. All right, now each one of these is going to control the output of one of these chests, okay? So let's go ahead and do this one. This is the tier 1 rune. All right, so when it comes up here, we're going to go ahead and do a... Now, pay attention to this because I probably will forget to put this in the description. So if you want to use these, you need to pay attention here. So we're going to do a Pastebin get, and this is the code that is required for this, and this is going to be rune 1. Okay, so if you type this in, it will connect to Pastebin. Now, I named it rune 1. You can name it whatever you want to. Okay, the only important part is this actual new alphanumeric code right here. And I believe capital letters does matter. Okay, you can name it whatever you want to. So you type in Pastebin get, Pastebin space get space, and then put this code right here in. And then after that code, you push space and name it whatever you want to name it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and edit rune 1 because this is the tier 1 runes. Now, the way this is going to work, and if you want to adapt this for yourself, what you need to do is pay attention to these first 2 lines, okay? Okay, chest equals peripheral wrap right, okay? Basically what it's saying is that on the right of this computer is the chest that this computer is going to be messing with. Okay, in this case, this is the iron chest that the interface exports all the items into. Okay, so it is looking to its right. Now, if you want to put the chest somewhere else, then you need to modify this line right here, and instead of saying right, you say left, front, back, right, up, down, left, and I think you have to do the direction. I think it would be, in this case, if you wanted it to be behind it, it'd be in the back, front, up, down, left, and right. Or you can use northwest, southeast, and whatnot. All right, so in this case, it is to the right, so that's fine. All right, now the second one, push direction equals north, okay? In this case, what we're doing is from the chest here, it's going to monitor this chest. And from this chest, if it sees a valid crafting recipe, based on recipes in here, I'll show you those in a second, it will then push one instance of that crafting recipe north 1 block, in which case this is from here, north is also to the right, okay, and that's going to be this wooden chest. All right, so what it's saying is recipes, okay, rune of water, rune of fire, rune of earth, rune of air, and rune of mana. Okay, now it has the recipes for these here. The rune of mana is 5 here, mana steel ingots, 1 mana pearl, and 1 living rock, okay? And anytime that this computer recognizes that set of ingredients in this chest, it will take one set of those ingredients to match this recipe once, and it will go ahead and... Ooh. Gotta not do that. And it will go ahead and push it to the right one, okay? Then from this wooden chest, it will go ahead and suck them out of here and drop them onto here. Now, this is actually easier shown if I were to actually do it. So let's go ahead and look up some runes. Let's see. I know that I'm going to need a lot of... Actually, I don't remember which ones I'm going to need a lot of. But here we go. Rune of Air. We're going to go ahead and request some runes of air. Okay? Now, keep in mind, this isn't going to work at the moment. I'm doing it to have it not work on purpose. So please keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to make me 5 runes of air, which is going to do 2 recipes worth of stuff. Okay? So if I hit next, it says all the stuff's available, and I hit start, it's going to go ahead, craft up the stuff necessary, and drop it into the iron chest. You notice that nothing happened. Okay? Now, I can't open this iron chest because of the grass above, because of the dirt block above it, but it is a grass block. Haha, funny. But nothing's happening because there's nothing to pull that out. All right? Now, this program, when we actually do a control and an exit, is not running. So what I want to do is I want to make it so that this program runs every time this computer boots. So we're going to do an edit startup command, and this is going to edit the startup command that every time this computer is reset, whether it be from you restarting the server if you're on a server, whether you're launching the game in single player, anytime a computer exists, when it comes to know that it exists when the game loads, it tries to run the startup sequence. Okay, and when it does, we want it to do a shell.run. Okay, and that's going to tell it to run this program. And we're going to do parentheses, rune 1, close parentheses. Okay? Parentheses? Yeah. No. Quotation marks. I don't know why I was thinking parentheses. Quotation marks, rune 1. Okay, so now if I do a control save and control exit, now it's sitting here waiting for me to do something. If I hold control and hit R, it is going to restart this computer, okay? And holding control and pushing R, okay? Now when it restarts, it's immediately going to run the program, and it says crafting rune of air. And look at that. It only crafted one of the instances. Now that it's made that, it's waiting, and now it's going to craft the second set of runes, okay? Those were actually all sitting there in the iron chest, but the computer program knew to wait. Okay, so now if we were to do a control T, that's going to terminate the program. And we're going to go ahead and edit rune 1 again. Oh, no, stop. I put a space where there didn't need to be one. All right, so if we edit rune 1 and we go all the way down to the bottom, the way this program works, and you guys can look this program over if you want, but if you don't care about how it works, you just want it to work, what you want to do is go down to here, and if they're going too fast, now, depending on what mana spreaders you're using, will determine how long it takes for the first recipe to finish, okay? So if you're using, excuse me, if you're using normal mana spreaders without any lenses or anything, it's going to take significantly longer for it to gather up enough mana in the runic altar and this thing to finish, okay? So that's why you have this sleep 10, okay? It's going to sleep 10 seconds in between trying to import the next version, the next crafting recipe of stuff, okay? If it turns out that you need more than 10 seconds, then you just adjust this right here, okay? So if I needed more time, I could change this and have it say sleep 30 seconds instead. I don't need that because 10 works fine for me, but if you're using lower tier spreaders, then this will adjust to that. Okay, and then here you have a sleep 2. After it does all this stuff, every 2 seconds it checks to see if there's anything in this chest. Okay, so every 2 seconds it will try to push the next thing. It'll say, hey, is there anything over there? Oh, yes, there is. Good, we can do something. All right, so I'm going to do a control exit because I didn't actually need to change that. And we're going to do a control R. And now this program is now running. And it is waiting for more input. So now, if I want to, And I shouldn't waste that much of this stuff because I am wasting mana steel, but I wanted to show you guys, and mana steel is iron, and so that's a thing. Actually, it really doesn't matter because at this point I'm going to go ahead and take a break. Well, actually, no, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and go over to this one, and we're going to do a Pastebin get, and this will be for the tier 2 runes. And this one is going to be that one. And we're going to do a rune 2. Downloaded as rune 2 successfully. That's the Pastebin code for that one. This one is going to be Pastebin get. This is for the tier 3 runes. And this one is going to be that. And this is going to be rune 3. No spaces. Alright, so there's your code for rune 3. If I can remember, I'll post these in the description of the video. I'm going to try to remember, but I have a horrible memory, as anyone who's watched me knows, so apologies if it doesn't happen. Okay, now this is the last one. This is where it gets kind of tricky. We actually only had enough time and the setup to make only a couple of these. So this is for the Petal Apothecary. Now, I'll show you here in this in just a second, but it's incomplete for now anyway, and I'll show you why. There we go. And I'll name this one Petal. Okay, now this one we're going to go ahead and edit Petal. Now this is for making actual flowers, okay? We have programmed in the Daybloom, the Pure Daisy, the Hydrangeas, the Jaded Amaranthus, and the Munchdew, along with the Kekmuris. But those are the only ones we managed to get programmed. Obviously, there's a lot more flowers than that can be made in this. However, we're going to have to enhance the program a little bit. So keep in mind, this is not complete. However, it is complete enough for the purposes that I have at the moment. Okay. The other thing to consider is that some of the flowers that you're going to make, let's see, let's use I think the orchid. The orchid takes a lot. As you can see here, the orchid is going to take more than 9 distinct items. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, this is going to take 12 distinct items, and the applied energistics system, when you're making your crafting recipes, is only capable of handling 9 different types of items. So we can't actually use the applied energistics system to make anything that uses more than that number of items. 9 is the magical number there. Now, the other side of that is we can actually do it, and it's going to require a second Petal Apothecary and to keep a certain number of things stocked specifically, but we'll get into that at another time. For now, this is just, this is as far as this goes. So I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to go ahead and edit startup on all of these and get them all set up to where they will run normally. And when I come back, we're going to request a couple flowers to be made. Actually, a couple very specific flowers. So give me just a second, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we've got that finished up, and now we're going to do a practical test. Okay, in here, we're going to look up the Kekmuris. Get out of there. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and tell this thing to make me 10 Kekmuris. Alrighty, uh-oh. Really? Really? That close? Okay, so I've got 6. I'm 3 short. Okay, so let's see. That means I can probably only make 9 of these. Yep, there we go. All right, so now it's going to go ahead and it's going to craft a rune of winter. It's going to craft 8 runes of gluttony. That ought to be fun to watch. And yeah, so I'm going to hit start, and we're going to watch the magic. I hope this works out nicely. All right. Why aren't those crafting? Uh-oh. Something's wrong. Something, something, something. Dark side. Okay, well, something's obviously wrong here. It made the components, and that's fine. But for some reason, this didn't right-click. Because it has no energy. Why does it have no energy? Oh, by the way, I switched over to autonomous activators because I'm a genius. Why isn't this thing running? Because... Okay, fine. We're going to do less than 70% full. Will you run now? Why won't this thing run? Is it saying that we're 90% full? Conduit storage, capacitor bank, machine buffers. Now, I think that's incorrect because those don't have any power. You know what? This is obviously not working. We're just going to make this thing turn on. I'll deal with that in a minute. And you hear it working already. There we go. I don't know what the deal was there, but that's fine. But look, you can see things working. Okay, how cool is that? Do you know how annoying it would be to actually have to do this myself? Look at that! It drops it all! Okay, this was totally worth all the effort. Don't get me wrong, this was horribly annoying to do, but it was totally worth the effort. That is just so cool. Oh, by the way, I kind of forgot to mention that too. I left this hole in the floor so I wouldn't forget it. The autonomous activators, I decided to use them because I got so horribly tired of the constant clicking from the others. The minus side is they use power, which is very annoying, but there's nothing to be done for it. It uses very small amounts of power, but it does use just the tiniest bit. This, I use the Rod of the Seas, and you do have to put a mana tablet in here, okay? And this mana tablet will have to be recharged occasionally, but it's kind of a rare thing. It's only up to 2 of its 1,000 damage value there, if you see the 4873:2. Yeah, it's at 2 out of 1,000, so it takes quite a while for this to happen. But, so, yeah, that's keeping the Petal Apothecary filled for me, courtesy of the autonomous activator. Since I had to use the autonomous activator to keep this full, I mean, there are other ways to do it, but this seemed the easiest. Since I had to use the autonomous activator for that in this case, I went ahead and did it for the rest of these as well, which, as you can tell, proved to work out really nicely considering they were out of power. But now we have a total of 10 Kekimuras. Isn't that awesome? That's just the greatest. All right, cool. So now that we have some Kekimuras, I'm going to have to do a little bit of crafting that unfortunately I can't automate as of yet. But I need to make myself a couple other things, and we're going to go ahead and get the automated mining system set up. However, I am going to wait to do that for the moment because I need to show you guys what I created. Now, you guys might have noticed in the last episode or two that we have Winter Quarry Age. This is called try number 5. It took me quite a few tries, as you can see, 5 tries there, to get my quarry age going. But now that it's here, I want to show it to you guys. Mostly because I'm just not going to get started building the quarry this episode. There's not enough time to do a proper job of it. Alright, so we wound up having a island world. We wound up with oak wood tendrils, which, it's annoying to see them there, but I really don't care. I mean, I've got enough oak wood to choke a camel, or all of the camels in existence ever. So I'm not really worried about that. But this is perfect for what I'm going to be doing, mostly because it's going to create huge amounts of lag for anyone in the area, and therefore I want it to be in its own area. There's also a secondary reason for why I want it over here, and I'll explain that next episode. I may get the entire thing set up and ready for next episode. I may not. In between episodes, and I'm going to cut this one short here because, like I said, there's just not enough time to really get going into the next one. But in between episodes, I'm going to craft a couple flowers. Probably 3 flowers. Maybe 4, depending. And I'm going to level this place down just a little bit. I really need it to be kind of flat to do what I want to do, and we're going to do that. All right, so next episode, we're going to start building the automated quarry, essentially, the blood magic botanial thaumaturgist's quarry. All right, yes, say that 5 times fast and have any idea of what you're saying, and I'll commend you. So until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 59 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what I get into next, and if you can guess what I'm going to do, I will not tell you if you're right in the comments. Help spread the gaming!